Hello and welcome to a new video, and don't mind my dogs just running chaotically in the background. There's nothing I can do about that. But I thought I would come on here and do my one take wrap up for February. I read 9 books in the month of February, so let's go ahead and jump right in. If you have not seen before my videos, I do a one take wrap up to tell you what I read in the month, so I can tell you what I read in the month without having to edit the video because I hate editing videos. Let's get into it. I first finished Sap and Secrets by Daphne Elliott. This is a book I saw on Instagram and just got like drawn in by the tropes. I don't know if this is a debut or not, but it is an indie author. I liked it. I didn't like 100% love it, but I did really like it. This is a small town romance. He is a firefighter slash EMT, and in the line of work, he gets called to a woman with like severe pain at a restaurant. He goes in, he quickly realizes that she is in labor. She did not know she was pregnant, and so he starts assisting, like trying to get her to the hospital and everything, and realizes as well that it's his baby. So it was a really fun surprise pregnancy, surprise baby type of romance, and they start their relationship by just like co-parenting and then slowly start to trust each other and everything. And it was really good. Her emotional development, like emotional trauma with her family, was quite crazy to read. But yeah, I really did like it. Dog's just gonna sit here and play with his toy, I guess, just out of shot. But yeah, it was a fun one. Next, I finished The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan. I've been listening to all of Rick Riordan's books on audiobook. Last year or the year before, I read the original 5 over again, and then this year I've been doing the Heroes of Olympus on audio. So I finished that. Damn, that book is stressful. It's so good. It's so good. But the last one has so many stressful moments, and so little of it did I remember. So it was truly, a lot of it felt like reading it for the first time. I'm like, okay, like I know generally where we end up, but I don't remember how we get there. So it was a stressful watch, or a stressful read, that's for sure. But I really liked it. I do wish, and like, I don't know, I guess this is no longer just Percy's story in the Heroes of Olympus, but I kind of wish there'd been a little bit more Percy. But I still really liked it. I think what I actually liked is how much Nico there was. I think he's my favorite character, to be completely honest. Like, I love him so much. There are so many good scenes between him and Jason and Cupid, and the scenes later with Nico and Percy, and like Nico and Raina too. Like, there's just so much good stuff. What I was so surprised by, that I didn't remember Leo's story ending on such a cliffhanger, and I'm just so baffled that I didn't ever like really go forward with that. Like, I read the first couple Apollo books, but I haven't finished those. So right now I'm reading Magnus Chase, but I finished the Percy Heroes of Olympus series, and then I'm just making my way through all of Rick Riordan's books in audio. Next, I read 2 books by Anne Gracie. I read Mary in Haste and Mary in Scandal. These are both historical romance, marriage of convenience books. Mary in Haste is, I don't know what he is, a duke, an earl. They're all made up words if you ask me. He was, his brother died, so he gets the title, but really he's been working for the army, the queen, I don't know. He's like a spy for the government, an assassin for the government, I don't know. But he comes back home because he has to get all the affairs in order and everything with him now being the title holder. And he realizes his sisters are, Thanks really wants to be in the reading vlog, or in the reading updates. He realizes that he has to like kind of get his sisters in line, if you can say that. Hi. So he is trying to figure out what he can do with them and to get them like successfully married off and all of that, and get them into a safe position. But they're pretty wild. So he is starting to realize that he hasn't seen them in years and years and years, because he's been like across the continent doing stuff for the government. Okay, dog. And then next, so he finds this woman who is a teacher at a finishing school, and he marries her so she can help with the sisters. But they fall in love anyway. It was really cute. And then the sequel to that is Marian Scandal. It's about, I actually don't know if she's the younger or the older sister. It's about one of the sisters, Lily, who I loved as a character. She is she's a plus size heroine, and she also has dyslexia, which was such an interesting piece of representation to have in a historical romance. I'm trying to get my dogs to not fight over this toy. Come on. So it was really, really good. And so the scandal is that she gets kidnapped, and her brother's friend is actually who kind of saves her from that ruin. And so yeah, that one was really, 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 really good. I really liked the characters. The ending was definitely rushed. I think I give it a 4 stars. I think both of the historicals I gave a 4. Blood Olympus is a 5, and I think Sap and Secrets was also a 4. Next, I have a goal to read some more classics or classic adjacent books this year. I started with Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. It's a collection of poetry. They're almost like short essays, really. I listened to it on audio, and I also watched some videos kind of analyzing what he was saying, because I didn't necessarily understand everything. But I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's one that I'll return to super frequently. Like, I liked it, and I really liked his voice. But it's no Little Women. But I did really like it, and I do feel like I learned a lot, especially that like kind of turn of the century like American ideal. And I think it was a very interesting perspective into what America was then compared to now. And I just did a lot of thinking of like, what would he think about now? And he'd be very disappointed, I can tell you that. Next, I read what is gonna probably end up being one of my favorite books of the year. I read It's All in Your Head by Sabina Nordqvist. I loved this book. This is a contemporary romance with the most incredible chronic illness representation, chronic pain representation that I have really gotten to read thus far. The main character has, what was the acronym for it? IIH, increased intracranial hypertension. Maybe it says IH, I don't remember, but she had increased intracranial hypertension, and which increase in hypertension are kind of redundant, so maybe that's not what it's called. Idiopathic intracranial hypertension. Idiopathic is just a word for we don't know what causes it. But it was very interesting, very different than anything that I personally experienced, but I have migraines and I have a lot of chronic pain, so it was just so interesting to see her interpretation of that in a different context. And then the main male character had a snowboarding or snow skiing, a snow accident, and broke a lot of bones, and so he had a lot of like chronic pain from that. So it was just really, really interesting to see them as they navigated emotionally, physically, and all of that, and how she had drawn into herself so much and not really interacted with the world because of her circumstances, and to get to see her grow back into that was really, really beautiful to see. It was a great romance, a great book. I will be sat for all of her future books, that's for sure. Next, I read the first Magnus Chase book. Like I said, I'm reading all of Rick Riordan's books. I read The Sword of Summer. Really did love this one. It wasn't exactly what I remembered it, but I just love Magnus Chase's voice, and that, like, in a lot of ways, yes, he is similar to Percy, because you have another like series led by a character, and Rick Riordan, clearly his voice comes through his characters so much. But at the same time, he is so different from Percy. Like, he has his similarities, but he's got a much darker perspective, I think, and I really like that. So I really liked this book. I had a lot of fun. I don't know as much about Norse mythology as I do about Greek mythology, but I had a great time. I am currently reading book 2, so loving this series. Next, I read Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. This was a cute one. It wasn't an all-time favorite, but it was a cute one. It's a hockey romance. It is a second chance romance, sort of. They knew each other in high school, like kind of. They both had crushes on each other, but never talked to each other. And now she is his personal assistant. And he's navigating trying to take care of his mom as well as navigating his career, and it was really good. There were just some things in it that I didn't like. I liked the plot and I liked the setup. There was just some of the execution that I didn't care for. Why does a personal assistant live in the house full time? What is she doing? Like half the time I'm like, what, like, are you even working? What are you here for? Like she did some cleaning and grocery shopping and I'm like, okay. And then there were some nicknames used that gave me the ick, really didn't like them. And then yeah, I liked it, I just didn't love it. But I've heard the rest of the series is better, so I definitely am interested in reading more of this series. So lastly, I read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, which was an okay book as well. I didn't love it 100%, but it was a good book. I liked the characters and I liked the setup of the story. She was his bodyguard. He's an actor who came back home to be with his mom as she goes through treatment for breast cancer. And I really liked the setup of like, oh, she's pretending to be his girlfriend, but really she's the bodyguard and she's just there to explain her presence to the family and everything. But so much I think of the relationship developed off page, or just like told you, oh, we spent all this time together and we got really close. And like that was the sentence, and I'm like, okay, but what happened? Why do you feel this way? There wasn't enough exploration into what was actually happening, that I felt a little like I felt like cheated of the actual story, but I did still like it, and I liked the suspense element and everything, and I think it will make a good movie because it's being adapted to a movie. But those are all the books I read in February. I had a really good reading month, and I'm hoping to continue that in March. So I will see you next time for a wrap up. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!